So, chapter number 4 is Rosalind and Orlando. Now, I have another laptop at the side of me, and that page is open over there. So, I'll be looking that side. I'll do one paragraph at a time. I'll read the paragraph first, then I'll explain you the paragraph. Let's begin. Charles fought fiercely, but Orlando won the match. He threw the champion to the ground so heavily that he lay there unable to move or speak. Duke Frederick congratulated the new champion and asked him his name. Charles fought fiercely. Fiercely meaning in a very strong manner. He was not scared of Orlando, right? Because Orlando was small compared to him, right? So he fought in a very strong manner, very brave manner, but unfortunately he lost the wrestling match and Orlando was declared the winner. Orlando threw the champion to the ground and he threw him so hard on the ground that Charles was unable to move and neither was he unable to speak. And so Orlando was declared the winner of the match. Duke Frederick congratulated the new champion and asked him his name. Orlando, the son of Sir Roland de Boys, right? So Sir Roland de Boys was the father of Orlando and Oliver. Now pay attention. At that name, Duke Frederick turned red with anger. Sir Roland, the friend of Duke Senior, had been his enemy. I wish that you had been the son of another father, he said in anger. So as soon as Sir Frederick gets to know that Orlando was the son of Sir Roland de Boys, he gets very angry because Sir Roland de Boys was a very close friend of Duke Senior, and that made Duke Frederick angry because Sir Roland de Boys was his enemy, and if Sir Roland de Boys was his enemy, then his son also was his enemy. And so he tells Orlando that I wish that you were the son of any other father. Rosalind, now remember Rosalind and Celia are also present over there and they're watching the match. Rosalind had fallen in love with Orlando at first sight. She was delighted to hear that he was the son of her father's old friend. She took off the chain that she was wearing around her neck and placed it around Orlando's. Noble youth, she said, wear this for me, will you? I too am unfortunate. Her kindness and beauty won the heart of Orlando and he instantly fell in love with her. Right, so Rosalind got very happy when she hears that Orlando is the son of Sir Roland de Boys because Sir Roland de Boys was her father's friend and she fell in love with him instantly as well. And as a gift, as a token, she takes off a chain which she is wearing around her neck and she gives it to Orlando. And her kindness, her beauty won the heart of Orlando and he too instantly meaning at that moment only, he too fell in love with Rosalind. That brings us to the end of the 4th chapter. Now we move on to the 5th chapter. Let me just change the page. Now, chapter number 5. Unfortunately for Rosalind, Orlando had to leave the court at once. Now, why did he have to leave the court? Because Duke Frederick was his enemy. It was dangerous for him to stay there when Duke Frederick was his enemy. After Orlando had gone, Rosalind became silent and sad. Celia did her best to cheer her up, but her efforts were in vain. Now Rosalind became very sad, she became very silent, because obviously she had fallen in love with Orlando, and then once again Orlando had to leave the court immediately because he was in enemy territory. So she became sad. Duke Frederick, who was angry with Orlando, was also angry with Rosalind. Why? Because Rosalind had openly shown her liking for the youth. Right? So, in front of everyone, Rosalind had taken off that chain which she was wearing and given it to Orlando. And everyone present over there in the court, they were watching that. For some time, the Duke had been thinking of sending Rosalind away from his court. He felt that she was too popular with the people who pitied her for the loss of her father. So Duke Frederick wanted to get rid of Rosalind. And the reason being was people pitied her. People felt sorry for her because everyone knew that her father was banished. Her father was in the forest of Arden, right? And this girl was in the city. So people felt really bad for her. Accordingly, one day, when Rosalind and Celia were talking about Orlando, he interrupted them with these harsh words. So one day, both the sisters were sitting and they were talking about Orlando only, and Duke Frederick walks into the room and he tells Rosalind this. Now, what he tells her, let me just open the next page. Just 1 second. I hope it's easy. It's actually very easy. There's nothing difficult. So he walks into the room where Rosalind and Celia are sitting over there, and he looks at Rosalind and tells her to leave. Why must I leave? What wrong have I done? Asked Rosalind. Right, so Duke Frederick walks in, tells Rosalind that you have to leave this place immediately. And Rosalind also at once, like, she's taken aback because she has no idea what wrong she has done. So she says, he why must she leave? So, Rosalind, you must leave here instantly. If in 10 days' time you are within 20 miles of my court, I shall have to kill you. Both girls were shocked at this harsh and unexpected command. So, this is what Duke Frederick tells Rosalind, that she had to leave instantly. And in 10 days' time, if she was found anywhere within 20 miles of my court, yeah, so if she was found within 20 miles, that radius of 20 miles was given to her. If she was caught roaming around anywhere next to the court, she would be killed instantly. And both girls, both Rosalind was shocked and Celia was shocked as well. So Rosalind says, why must I leave? What wrong have I done? Asked Rosalind. And Duke Frederick says, you are your father's daughter, that's enough. Right? So Duke Frederick doesn't have any proper answer to give her. So the only thing that he can tell her is that you are your daughter's father. And since he hated the father, right, he had removed the father from the court, banished him, and now he plans to do the same with Rosalind as well. Celia begged her father to let Rosalind stay with her, but he would not listen to her. He repeated his command and turned away. Right, so Celia also begged her father not to do that, not to banish Rosalind as well. But this time, Duke Frederick was determined to send Rosalind away from his court. That brings us to the end of chapter number 5, 4 and 5. Tomorrow we will do chapter number 6 and 7. I think there are 14 chapters in this place, so I think within a week's time we will finish this entire play. Alright, question answer time. I hope you've done yesterday's questions. Now we'll do today's ones, we'll discuss. Now, today's questions, there are only 5 questions, right? Now, there are some questions which have long answers, and then there are some questions which have just one line or one word answers there. So those one line and one word answers we will not be doing, right? You can just write it down at the side of the question itself in your book. I started getting messages that many of you don't have the book, and you don't need to worry about that. Okay, shops will reopen soon, and as soon as they reopen, you can go and purchase the book. In the meantime, I told you yesterday also what you can do. You can even ask your seniors, if you know of any, to give you their books. So, question number 4, chapter number 4, question number 1. What made Duke Frederick very angry? So, what made Duke Frederick very angry? When he got to know that Orlando was the son of his enemy, Sir Roland de Boys. You can write it down uh, in your own words. What made Duke Frederick very angry? Duke Frederick got very angry when he got to know that Orlando was the son of Sir Roland de Boys, who was his enemy. Question number 2. What did Rosalind give to Orlando? What did she give? She had something around her neck. She gave him her necklace. So it's just one word answer, so you don't need to do this question. You can write it down at the side of the question itself in the book. Necklace. Who fell in love at first sight? Rosalind, not you. Rosalind fell in love at first sight. That's from chapter number 4. Now we move to chapter number 5. Why did Orlando leave the court immediately? Orlando left the court immediately because it's in the first paragraph of the chapter itself, because Duke Frederick was his enemy and it was not safe for him to be over there. That's why he had to leave the court immediately. You can do this question. Now, what made Duke Frederick banish Rosalind? Important question. You'll be doing this question in your copy. What made Duke Frederick banish Rosalind? I'll tell you the answer. Your answer will be on chapter number 7, second paragraph. You come down to the 5th line. Duke Frederick, who was angry with Orlando, was also angry with Rosalind, who had openly shown her liking for the youth. In brackets, you can write down Orlando. For some time, the Duke had been thinking of sending Rosalind away from his court. He felt that she was too popular with the people, who pitied her for the loss of her father. That will be your answer. All those who are writing it down, I'll repeat this answer one more time. Duke Frederick, who was angry with Orlando, was also angry with Rosalind, who had openly shown her liking for the youth. In brackets, you can write down Orlando. For some time, the Duke had been thinking of sending Rosalind away from his court. He felt that she was too popular with the people, who pitied her for the loss of her father. Just these 5 questions in these 2 chapters, and out of these 5, you don't have to do all. You just have to do what made Duke Frederick very angry. This one. That's chapter number 4, question number 1. You do not have to do question number 2 and 3. What did Rosalind give to Orlando? A necklace. Who fell in love at first sight? You and Rosalind as well. So you don't have to do question number 2 and 3. Then you can do question number 1 from chapter number 5. Why did Orlando leave the court immediately? And question number 2. What made Duke Frederick banish Rosalind? Right? So 3 questions in all have to be done in the copy. Remember, a separate copy for language and a separate copy for literature. Once we finish with this play, we will be starting with language. So I guess that brings us to the end of this session as well. If you're unable to view the video, then send me a message on WhatsApp, and I will send you the videos on your number. Right? I do not have a clue as to why these videos can't be viewed. I've already changed settings, but maybe only a limited number of viewers can view these videos, and I was just seeing there are around 250 students in class 8 who are added to the list over here. So any problem, you don't have to worry. I'm over here. I have my phone with me all the time. Just send me a message and I will send it to you. If you have already viewed the videos, then there's no point of asking me for the videos. Anything you don't understand, you have my number. Again, I'm repeating it. It's 945 3367 339. So we'll catch up again tomorrow. Complete the work in the copies, and have a nice day. Bye bye.